Today, I wanted to talk about why I'm studying abroad and how I chose to do it and like how I came to choose Italy and get here and just everything. I honestly can't even remember when I decided that this is what I want to do. Like, I can't remember a time when I didn't know that I was going to be studying abroad in high school. Like, it was just kind of always was like set in my mind that like this is what I want to do. Like, I remember like middle school, maybe even like 5th grade, like in elementary school, like I just kind of knew that I wanted to go somewhere. And I think a big part of that was because I know like my mom didn't travel like a ton, but she definitely has explored some different interesting countries like Portugal and Ireland and Costa Rica, and she's been to Italy as well. And I've always just like envied that. Like, I'm always just like, I want to travel. Like, I see what she does and it just sounds so cool to me, and it's always been a big influence on me. Like, I wanted to travel, I want to see the world. So I really thought that like this was kind of my best opportunity to do that, because traveling is not cheap, but I feel like this is a good way to do it because you could stay with a host family, you could stay for the year and go to school and go through a different program, but I'll get into that. I kind of wanted an alternative to the regular like high school experience, I guess. Before I was even in high school, like I knew that like I'm the kind of person that needs to keep myself doing things and keep myself entertained and, you know, kind of like active at life per se. So I was like, this is a great opportunity as like an alternative high school experience. Like, I can study somewhere else, I can learn a new language and a new culture. That was a big thing, like a different language and culture that I wanted to learn and just experience, I don't know, being away. Everyone at my school, like they're gonna be living like junior year of high school. Like, that's currently where we're at. And I knew that I wanted something different for myself, I guess. Oh, a big thing for me with this experience was independence. That is something I've struggled with for years. Like, I wouldn't want to do anything myself. Like, even small things like going into the doctor's office to like give them a form for school or something like that. Like, terrified. Like, I think it was a lot of social anxiety with doing that, but I ultimately just kind of pinned it on like, I need to be more independent. Like, I can't live like this. I need to be able to do things on my own. I need to be able to go into a store alone and not fear that I'm gonna look like an idiot if a salesperson comes and talks to me. Like, I need to be independent and do things on my own, more self-reliant, I guess. Basically, summer of 2018, I knew for sure that like I was gonna apply for my junior year of high school. So I made summer of 2018 summer of independent Sophia. That's what we called it. You know, I told my mom, I told my friends, and I'm like, this is gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna be independent, because for some people it comes very naturally, but for me, I'm like, I'm gonna need to work at this. So I basically, that summer, I put myself in all the situations that kind of scared me. Like, you know, like the doctor's office, I would take in a form. Like, I went to more stores by myself. Like, I was okay with going to the grocery store alone and just random stuff like that. So I feel like that was sort of one of my little tests for myself on studying abroad. And then I knew that coming to a different country would help me grow on that independence. So that was a big part of it for sure. And I'm already seeing myself being more independent. There's obviously some things that still scare me, but I feel like that's just me, okay? Another big thing that has to do with independence and like why I chose to study abroad is I want to like just grow as a person and learn about myself and become more of a citizen of the world, if we want to say that. Like I want to be able to speak for myself. I want to like know myself well enough. Like, I feel like so many people go through life thinking they like know themselves, and then like that's when the midlife crisis comes, you know? They don't actually know themselves that well. I want to learn and grow about myself. Grow and learn about myself. I definitely think that's gonna happen here. Like, I've been here for a little over 3 weeks. I realized in exactly 1 week it's gonna be a month that I'm here, and that's kind of insane to me that I've been gone for that long, or here for that long. But yeah, I've already noticed like changes in myself. Like, I'm gonna take it back to like middle school when I cared a lot, and maybe even like freshman year of high school. I cared so much what people thought about me. Like, it's just embarrassing how much I cared. And then like sophomore year of high school, I kind of was just like, it doesn't really matter. Obviously some situations I'd still be like people are looking at me, people are judging me, like I care what people think about me. But like now here, like sort of like starting my new life here, people don't know me. They can get to know me like for who I actually am rather than like misconceptions about me that other people may have told them. Another thing is I wanted to learn a new language and learn about a new culture, sort of like aside from like the US. The US I would say has lots of different cultures within it, but just like a different country and culture. And currently the language is very difficult. Like I'm having a tough time, especially because in Italy, most people speak English. Like, so it's not really, there's not a lot of situations where I'm like pressured to practice Italian and I fall into like my comfort zone of just speaking English. I will be starting some Italian classes soon, so I hope to get on that and achieve my goal of learning another language. A lot of people here and even like back at home and friends and just classmates and teachers, they asked me why I chose Italy. Okay, there's honestly a couple of reasons, because let's be honest here, like everyone wants to go to Italy. I feel like it's just sort of like a bucket list item, you know? It's like, oh, Italy, like that beautiful country, like I want to go there someday. Like maybe not everyone, but that's how it was for me for sure. And also the beautiful movie of Call Me By Your Name. I respect that movie on so many levels, and that is my favorite movie of all time. And I just like, I had this need to come here. Like anytime, I honestly, on my list of countries, I kind of was like, oh, maybe Spain would be cool, or Austria, or Australia, even though I wouldn't have learned a different language in Australia, or France. But like, every time I watch that movie, I'm just like, no, like it has to be Italy. Like I have to go to Italy. Like that's where I'm meant to go. So yeah, it's a little embarrassing that part of my decision was based off of a movie. But you know what? I don't really care because it's a great movie. And if you haven't seen it, please watch it and be a supporter of it because it's an amazing film. Anyway, before coming, I obviously had so many worries. Like during the application process, which I probably started, like I think you need like a solid 8 to 12 months before your departure to be applying and everything. Like I think I started applying in October of last year and I arrived here at the beginning of September. And so you definitely need that time to just like fill out paperwork, do interviews depending on your program, and even things like visas and just like contacting the other country. It's gonna take time. For me, I went with the Rotary Youth Exchange, which I think is a great organization, and they're just like very well trusted and organized, and like I really appreciate them. But there are of course other organizations you can go with. Like one of my other options, I guess, was with AFS, which I started the application for that and everything. But I was applying for Rotary at the same time because I knew I wanted to do this and I could not risk not getting into one of them and like not going. So I was just applying for both. And so I ended up hearing that I got in from Rotary before I even finished my application for AFS. So I was just kind of like, Rotary's great. Like, I'm just going to go with them. Like, there's no need to finish the other one. So that's how I decided to go with the Rotary. So yeah, you definitely need that time. But worries I was very excited at the beginning, like, of the application process. Like, I was like, my dream is gonna come true. Like, I'm gonna make this happen for myself. But as I got further into it and things started getting more real, like after my interview, which I was terrified for just because anxiety, you know, I like realized like this could happen. Like this could actually happen. I could be gone next year. Like this time next year. This was like during Christmas. I'm like, this time next year I could be gone. Like I could be away from my family. And that kind of terrified me. Like not being home for Christmas and the holidays. Like I'm still a little scared for that this year, but you know what, it's fine. Like, I have a great host family here and everything will be fine. But anyway, back to my worries. Like, I kind of anticipated really bad homesickness. Like, that was a big worry before I left. I'm like, I cannot leave my friends and family for a year. Like, I can't do that. Like, it just did not feel right. And I'm not gonna lie, the first week I was here was so bad with homesickness. It even still hits me like every once in a while if I'm not keeping myself busy. But like, less than 12 hours into being here, I woke up in the middle of the night from jet lag and just started sobbing. Like, I could not stop crying because I just missed my family so much. My mom, before I left, had written me a letter and I was supposed to open it when I arrived in Italy. And I was kind of stupid. And while I was crying, I opened that letter and I started reading it. And it like made me miss her so much more and like miss everyone so much more. Yeah, so homesickness was bad for me. Like, I was talking to other exchange students and they did not experience any homesickness or haven't this far. But it was definitely an issue for me. But it's something I could get through. Like, this is something I want to do, so it's something I had to deal with. But got through it, and it's still gonna hit me at other times. Like, I know it will, but I know that things will get better. Like, this is, like, I'm where I'm meant to be right now in my life, I guess. Like, and I've kind of come to terms and peace with that. And so whenever the homesickness hits, I just know that, like, I'm okay. This is where I'm meant to be. Another concern of mine, this wasn't a huge concern, but it was sort of like an initial concern before applying, was the fact that I wasn't gonna be here for high school. Like, my education is very important to me. Like, I'm a very studious person. I like to study. I like to keep my classes organized. I like to get good grades, maintain all A's. But I knew that coming here, like, I wasn't gonna be able to do that because the classes are in Italian and I can't expect from myself, like, perfect work. Like, that's not realistic for myself or for anyone who really studies abroad. The school I go to, they're very good and open with study abroad, so they make it easy for you to transfer credits. And for me, my credits will transfer as what they are. So if I take an English class here, which I am, it'll transfer as an English credit, but it won't go towards my grade point average. It'll just be pass or fail and I'll get the credit. If it didn't count towards credits for me and I had to do an extra year of high school, like, I don't really know that I would be doing this right now because that's just not something I feel like I could have done, like, graduate a class later, you know? So I'm very thankful for that. And that was an initial concern and still could be a concern for some people if their school or school district isn't as, can't think of the right word, isn't as compliant. Maybe that's not the right word. I don't know. And another thing was, I am vegetarian, and during my, like, process of applying, I was told that that could not happen. Like, AFS told me, they're just like, if you want to go to Italy, you can't be vegetarian. That's going to be rude to the culture. Families aren't going to want you. We're not going to be able to find a host family for you, and you're not going to be able to go. Like, that's what they told me, which was very discouraging. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't eat meat. Like I've made this commitment to myself. Like, I don't want to eat meat. That's what they kept telling me. And even during my interviews with Rotary, they were like, what are you going to do if someone offers you meat? Like, what are you going to eat? And I'm like, I survive in the US without eating meat. Like, I feel like if someone from a different country was going to the US and they're like, oh, I'm vegetarian, people would be like, oh, the US, all they eat is hamburgers and hot dogs. Like, you can't be vegetarian. But, like, false. Like, it is fine. They found plenty of host families for me that were fine with me being vegetarian and were willing to work with that. So I'm thankful for that. And that's not really a worry anymore, I guess. So yeah, I'm just living here and things are going well. And, like, know this is where I'm supposed to be right now. And I'm feeling very good about that. And I'm already starting to make friends, and I'm already feeling a nice sort of community here, especially at school. I'm just like, though I don't speak Italian, a lot of them speak English, so I can still be my, like, chatty and bubbly self. most of the time, but once I learn Italian, it's gonna be even more fun because I'll be chatty and bubbly in a different language. So we're good with that. Please feel free to ask me any questions, especially if you're interested in studying abroad, because yeah, I've only been here for less than a month. I can't lie to myself, things could go downhill from here, but thus far it has been a great experience, and I hopefully see it being a great experience in the future for myself. So I'm very excited about that. And it also occurred to me recently that like this has been my dream for so long, and like I'm living here. Like I'm like it sounds cheesy, but like my dream has literally come true. Like people have like sort of like aspirations for themselves in life, and this was my biggest one for so long, and like I made it happen, like with the help of Rotary and my parents and friends and like just support from everyone. But like ultimately, like I was able to make it happen. Like I'm doing this for myself, so I'm very happy with myself. So yeah, dreams do come true. And again, if you have any questions, please ask me. I'd be so happy to answer them and chat with you if you're interested. So yeah, thank you. That's it. I just sort of wanted to get that not out of the way. I've just been thinking about filming this a lot because it's fun to talk about it. So yeah, bye.